And we are live. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. When we come in on the chat, I'll let it load. Tell me where you guys are in this crazy, crazy world we at today. And I want to talk to you guys about some boxing. I'll let it load. You know, we have Glovegate, we have coronavirus, we have all types of things. And we need to talk about random Sunday talk. What's up, guys? I give you a shout out. Where we at in this crazy world? Dannon McKnight. What's the deal, man? Oh man, just enjoying this Sunday, staying home, staying safe, getting burly and woolly. I'm going on strike. I'm not until this clears up. I'm not getting any haircut in it. Well, you can't get a haircut because all the damn barbers are closed. They're shutting that shit down. Kevin Lopez, counterpunch to you, brother. Samuel Garcia, what do you think of AJ being the underdog against Fury will make AJ more dangerous? Well, I think so. I think it'll make him more hungry. I think it'll put him in a position where he's striving for something. You know what I mean? What's happening, bro? You keeping it healthy? I'm trying, man. I got actually I got onion, garlic, lemon, and I need to get some ginger and make me a concoction, and drink it. I wake up in the morning, I take honey, raw honey, and apple cider vinegar. So it's a shot of the apple cider vinegar, then chase it with that honey, knocks everything out. And that vinegar cleans your throat because they say the virus, if it gets anywhere, it's going to your throat first before it goes down and gets to the rest of your body or whatever. So, but no, but Samuel, I think it'll make him more determined. It's good being the underdog, and he's been there before. Because how many people thought that Andy Ruiz was going to run back over him, right? Was going to do the same thing that he said. Ultimate counterpunch. How do you think Fury versus Vitali would have went? I always saw Vitali as better fighter than Vladimir. Obviously, Vlad was more accomplished. I think both of those guys were twin dragons. I think that Vitali would have gave Tyson Fury a lot of problems, simply because if you look at those two guys, Vladimir was more hesitant, especially when he didn't know or didn't see a target. Okay, because even Emmanuel Lewis would get pissed at him at times and tell him like, stop all that up and down shit. You gotta get up there and just hit the motherfucker, man. Hit him. You know what I mean? It's this YouTube video I saw when trainers lose control, and that it was hilarious. You guys got to look it up, but Vladimir, he was more of the hesitant. That's why he couldn't really get nothing off from Fury, because Fury was all he kept him guessing. But I think Vitali would have gave Tyson Fury some serious problems. You know, Roy Murphy, shout out from the early UK. Keep it safe, my man. Absolutely. Right back to you. Amina, shout out to Kurt from France. Shout out to you, Amina. Or, yeah, Ami. Or Ame. Vitali went for blood. Yeah, he did, Jim. Shout out to you, brother. Counterpunch to you as well. Yeah, Vitali would have went in there, because see, Vitali would have went in there, you know, circling with his jab, ready to attack. Vlad kind of sits back, and then when he engages, he's ready to grab instead of punch. You see what I mean? Vitali's opposite. Vitali's ready to attack right when you hear that ding ding. Okay, so definitely. Vlad pissed me off versus Fury. He didn't engage. That's what I'm saying. Dannon, he did not. He's not that dude at times. You have to be one of those straight up and down fighters so he can see what he's going to do to you. And if he doesn't see it, he's going to be very hesitant. That's why people didn't like him. That's why a guy like, who did he face in New York and they booed him? Bryant Jennings, right? When he fought Bryant Jennings in Madison Square Garden, they booed him because it was just such a boring ass fight. You know, Mike McDonald, shout out. Sean South London, shout out to you. What's up, bro? Did Wilder's performance in his loss warrant a rematch? Fury looked great after the fight. Wilder went to the hospital. I think Wilder should have been given White next. I think so too. That would have been great, Sam Greer. But if boxing was fair, it is the sport that I love that I hate so much. And I think honestly that should have happened. I think Wilder should have at least fought the mandatory for that. Okay? Because guess what? That just shows us that that wasn't a true mandatory. Because if he would have fought Tyson, and if Tyson Fury was a true mandated challenger, there wouldn't be no damn rematch or a rubber match. It wouldn't have been any of that. Then the guy that's mandated should have been him. So now what they're doing, oh, it's a contractual agreement, yada yada yada. But no, he should have fought, and that would have been if Deontay would have beat White, we would have that would have shut White out, unless White mopped the floor with him too, and that could have happened. But they're not going to do that to their beloved Deontay. Who do you think wins between Crawford and Spence? Crawford, Big Steve, 513. Brian Harkins, you're losing it, son. You're losing it. Okay. I love watching Fury fight, though, man. It's crazy to see a 6'9", 270-pound guy move the way he does. He's tough. He's fight for any of the all-time greats. Not saying he wins, but he would make tough fights. Eh, he Tyson Fury knows how to adapt to certain people. You know what I mean? Kevin Lopez, you're in New York, dude. What part of New York? What borough? Roy Murphy, did you ever hear the sad news about Anthony Yard? His father sadly passed away from the. Oh, damn. No, I didn't, man. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that. How old was his father? This is crazy, man. This is crazy stuff. You know, Wilder probably would have lost again, Fury anyway, but when has Wilder ever gassed in the first round? Something had to be wrong from the beginning. No excuse though. I don't know, man. I don't know. If Wilder had a bad night, I guess everybody's warranted a bad night. You know what I mean? I think the pace he didn't anticipate. He thought Tyson Fury was going to run. So when you're chasing someone, it's easy to preserve your energy because you're the one that's dictating. You're not the one being backed up. When somebody automatically backs you up, you ever been pushed back? Have anybody just ever pushed you back and they just kept pushing you back? That takes the momentum out of you. That knocks the wind out of you. It makes you backstep. It makes you actually use more energy because you're not moving forward. See, moving forward is a natural progression of how things are done, especially if you're trying to complete a goal, right? And in boxing, you're trying to find your target, so you're moving forward. But Tyson Fury was making Wilder move back. So that automatically made him tired because he's not accustomed to going backwards. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely something that probably just drained him and he wasn't accustomed to it. Jason B, blessings to you too, brother. If you think about it, the first fight, Fury was a cherry pick from Wilder. 3 years out of the ring, fighting depression, was 400 pounds, drug abuse, etc. Ultimate, all those were right. I mean, they knew what they were doing. You know, it was a smart move by Shelly Finkel because you have to look at these guys and what they attempted to do. You know, it blew up in their face ultimately, but it was just like a perfect recipe for Wilder to come in and take that. Oh, see, if you beat the guy that beat the guy, you don't have to ever worry about people criticizing you about that guy that you ducked or you avoided or you know what I mean? So they were trying to kill two birds with one stone, you know? Dillian has the best left heavyweight. Dylan has to be the best heavyweight, not have a title fight. Yeah, it's A lot of times it works like that. This is boxing, man. It's bad. Any credit for the fact that Tyson Fury goes to Deontay's territory 2 times. Deontay not going to England, gets one bad decision, then wins the rematch. Then everything out the woodwork comes out for excuses. Yeah, that's just like Lennox Lewis did the same thing. You remember the first fight was a draw. Remember that? First fight was a draw. You knew damn well it wasn't a draw, right? At least Deontay did knock him down a couple times. But that was just a plain straight up robbery, bad decision, you know? Joshua Lil John, counterpunch to you, brother. Antonio Matthews, everything's good. Everything's good, man. I'm just staying low. Haven't went outside, looked outside today. Like, oh, okay, close the door. But no, it happened to Lennox Lewis. It happened. He got to draw the first fight, and the second fight he won. It just Tyson Fury was more decisive because a towel had to be thrown in because he was putting the whooping on Wilder. And I think this is what I honestly think. I think if Tyson Fury wouldn't have knocked and stopped Deontay Wilder, I don't think all these excuses would have happened. I think if he would have beat Wilder on points, none of these excuses would have been merited. None of them would have been even brought into the picture. Okay, because the way he lost, they have to have an excuse for the way he lost. Okay, anybody can be outboxed because a skill, a person, working on his game plan, use the jab, stay outside. If he comes in with the right big right, duck under it, clinch, turn him or spin him, and repeat the process. And if you can do that, but Tyson Fury didn't do that. You know what I mean? God of War, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Do you think Pulev fights like Olev? He does actually. He does have that style. He really does. And didn't Kirk Johnson knock out Oleg Moskayev? I remember that too. Dude had that big solid chin. We thought he was going to knock out Kirk Johnson. Remember Kirk Johnson, the Canadian? You guys watched boxing back in the day like I did. Kirk Johnson was a pretty bad mother. Oleg knocked Hasim Rahman through the ropes. Kirk Johnson, I think, put Oleg Moskayev through the ropes, right? I could be wrong. I mean, Matt, that because I know that was a while ago. I know that was, I think, was like in the early 2000s or late 90s, right? What's going on, man? Nothing much. Apaja 5E. Who do you think would win between Javante Tank Davis and Devin Haney? Man, that's a good one. But you know what, Big Steve? I don't think that these guys really, those PBC guys just want to make their fighters money. That's it. They ain't trying to challenge them. They ain't trying to make them do anything in particular. They're not trying to do any of that. What they're trying to do is they're trying to just make money for the fighters and then make it seem like these fighters are legends or are big ticket sellers. They're trying to promote the guys without the risk. That's what they're trying to do. You know, coming in he didn't help any. 213 to 220 is better weight. Absolutely, Jim. I've made a video on it recently about Wilder's weight. That was just a defining factor on top of the game plan that he wasn't accustomed to, Tyson Fury implementing. So, Eric Rosas, if a better fighter is pressuring you, it will gas you quick. Yes, sir, it will. Especially the guy's aggressive, it's gonna gas you out. Wilder lost because of the effective pace and pressure Fury put on him and the underrated body work. Yep. And for everybody thought that Deontay Wilder was this tough, solid guy. You know what I mean? It's just it just shows you when you're backpedaling, those punches started to add up. How do you think the heavyweight timeline will turn out in 3 years? Very unpredictable. I believe Wilder and Fury are on their way cashing out of the sport. Yeah, Dan, and they could be. And Tyson's already talking about it. You know what I mean? And you have to put into effect that Tyson Fury took 3 years off. You know what I mean? And he comes back in 18, then 19, and this year is pretty much put on pause. At least they did fight. Okay, but it is what it is. I think that Fury's just trying to fight a select few number of people and get out. I don't see Fury fighting guys that nobody wants to see, which is could be a good thing or a bad thing. Because it gets to the point where, oh, well, nobody wants to see it, so I'm not going to do it. Well, that person that you don't want to fight or you claiming that nobody wants to see may be the person that will beat you. You see what I mean? It always happens. Some nobody comes out of nowhere. Look at Hellenius. Do you think Robert Hellenius, was going to beat Adam Kaunaki? You know what I mean? And the writing was on the wall. They were like, okay, well, this happens. You know, Look at Andy Ruiz. Did anybody thought Andy think that Andy Ruiz was going to beat Anthony Joshua? No. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Vitaly Clean Johnson. Yeah. Now you remember that Joshua Little John? Yeah, it was crazy. Wilder is a broken man. We haven't heard from Wilder in a while, and that's kind of weird because everybody's coming out the woodwork and they're jumping on social media just to stay relevant. Julian Lewis, counterpunch from Barbados. That's what I'm talking about. Damn, how's Barbados? Are there any cases in Barbados of the virus? Gunsmoke. Kurt, it's 2 a.m. here in Scotland, and I got to sign out soon. Stay safe. Absolutely, Gunsmoke. Yeah, man, I wanted to do this sooner, man, but I had a late. I didn't go to sleep till like 5 this morning. You know, arguing with my nephew that I ain't seen in 4 years. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Should have went to sleep too. You watch the lower weight such super bantamweight. I do. I used to really be like when Chocolatito used to fight. I used to really be big on those. Of course, you had Vasily Lomachenko, Guillermo Rigondeaux, guys like that, Gary Russell Jr. But then it's not enough of them that I really pay. And I like them. They're exciting. If you see two small guys, it's like they can take much. You know what I mean? They can take more punches. You know, if heavyweights got hit like that, that would have been over. They would have been like, they would have been talking like that. Some concussive punch drunk talk, getting hit that many times, like the lower weight classes. Love your show. Love from Lagos, Nigeria. Wol Osho. Thank you, brother. Counterpunch to you. Thank you for the support. Sam Greer. If a right hand is all you have, what do you think you meet? What do you do? What do you when you meet someone who gets up from your right hand twice? Well, Sam, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, Antonio Matthews, that's true. He was projected to be a force, when he cleaned Brewster. But, it just shows you this is boxing, man. You know, I don't think that you got one guy that will beat everybody. You know what I mean? Because somebody has somebody's number. And that's what I don't like about Tyson Fury with his selected amount of people. See, he can fight Deontay Wilder again, then Anthony Joshua, maybe Anthony Joshua again, then Dillian White. And then he's done. But then I'm like, really? What about these other fighters? What about Daniel Dubois? What about he might have problems from somebody like Charles Martin. And everybody might say, Charles Martin, man, he'll be destroyed by Fury. How do you know that? You don't know that. Them guys never fought. Somebody like that may give him type problems because he has a type style. You see what I'm saying? So we don't really know at the end of the day. Everyone is where you get some of the best moments and the biggest upsets. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of people will underestimate a lot of fighters, just like Robert Hellenius. I want super cards when boxing returns. I do too. They owe it for us fans sitting around, you know, and these fighters should be hungry, but there's going to be a percentage of fighters that are not doing shit, sitting around eating ho-hos and Twinkies and shit. Andy Ruiz might be one of them. Pass me that other box of Twinkies. Give me some of those. Yeah, heck, give me three of them. Toss them here. Oh man, Helena is projected to be a force. Wilder is 36 and he doesn't have much time to learn and get better. No, he just has to work with what he has, Eric. And if he can't beat Tyson Fury, I think he should understand, and I think his fans should understand. If he can't beat Fury, he just can't beat Fury. That does not mean he can't beat Joshua. That does not mean he can't beat Ruiz. It does not mean that. Now, if he crumbles mentally, okay, that's a whole different story because now he has no mental foundation. He's broken mentally. So he shouldn't even be fighting anymore. He should just go to acting. But if he still wants to be a fighter, it just lets us know that he couldn't beat Fury. Let's look at that how it is because a lot of people will be so quick to just throw a guy under the bus. Don't mean that same right hand can't catch any of those guys I mentioned. White, right? If he catches White and knocks him out, okay, he can beat White now. There's no discussion. Oh, he knocked White out. They finally fought. They've been talking shit for 2 or 3 years. They finally got in the ring, and Deontay Wilder landed the right hand. Good night. Right? That doesn't mean that he couldn't do that. Until a lot of people are so quick, oh man, because remember what people did to Anthony Joshua? Think about it. Everybody then could beat Joshua just because Joshua got beat by a guy that a lot of people didn't expect to beat him. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know? So Otto Wylene, oh, okay, so he did get tested, Kevin. Okay. D Neek or Nike. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Triple D is a future heavyweight champ. Alexander Nisik, that might be the case. You know, it looks like that. If he, I'm wanting to see what he does with this virus has fucked everything up, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of material, it's a lot of fights, all the progression stops. That's crazy about it. You know what I mean? And I don't think people are ready for that type of platform to just sit their ass at home and watch boxing. You know what I mean? you know? Yeah, I know, right? I just heard about Anthony Yard's father. Shit, I'll do an overall video about it, but I didn't know. And it's just letting you know, like these famines and diseases and stuff like that, and how fast it spreads. But if you think we knew what we know now, like 3 months ago, they would have shut China down and everything in China. Everybody that went out of the country of China, shut that shit down. You know what I mean? But because now it's costing a lot of people other money in the whole world. It would be different if it was just a country or a part of the country or whatever. But this is a pandemic. It's panning through other countries, throughout the world. Can you say hi to my friend Nick Gers? He's in the hospital and he has cancer. Shout out to Nick Gers. Counterpunch to you, brother. Get well soon. Beat cancer. Fuck cancer. Thank you, C. Maximo. Boy. Fury can be a hit and miss in the ring. Although he did a great job against Wilder, I can't see him beating Joshua. Well, when those guys get in the ring, it's going to be a different fight. Because if you notice anything about this is the thing about Joshua, people need to get. Joshua is he anticipates an attack, whereas Deontay Wilder doesn't. Deontay Wilder uses the last form of defense. He will just block. If someone's coming, like let's say someone's feigning, he's just gonna put his dukes up especially when he sees them engaging him. He's gonna try to stand his ground and take those punches. Joshua's not gonna do that. Joshua is anticipating the attack so he can set up the trap for a counter. You know what I mean? Either his left hook or his right hand, and then he's gonna attack with a jab, so he's gonna actually use his jab. Okay, so a lot of people compare how that fight could be to where Klitschko is. No, because Joshua's gonna fight you. He's not gonna be like Klitschko that, oh, if I don't see that punch or that opening because that person is moving, doing too much head movement, right? and I don't think that I can punch, so therefore I won't punch. Joshua's not that way, you know. Raid R boxing. What's up, brother? Kind of punch to you. Kurt, how does Big Baby Miller redeem himself? Start beating people and start fighting. Start beating some legitimate people and stop taking drugs. You know what I mean? That's how he can redeem himself because we have to see where Jarrell Miller's at. And Jarrell Miller also pulled the same shit Andy Ruiz is pulling now. Think about it. What did Andy Ruiz just recently do? He wants to do a tune up. Okay, so did Jarrell Miller. Because remember, Joe Joyce called him out. Remember that? And then all of a sudden, oh, I got to do a tune up fight. That let me know right there that motherfucker's not confident in his own ability because he knows that those drugs gave him an edge. That's what it tells me. First thing that I think about, it pops in my mind. Oh, you ain't ready because you don't know how you'll perform without those damn PEDs. That's what that is. So that's what I think about Big Baby Miller. I think Big Baby Miller, has to get some more confidence. He wants a tune-up fight to see where he's at, to see how his body will respond without those damn drugs. You see what I'm saying? Big John Fury. Oh my God. Wilder has titanium rods in his right hand. That is an unfair advantage. What's your opinion? Jason B, I was gonna do a video about it, but I don't know how it'll benefit you know, that is beneficial because for one, it's wrapped. Okay. And for two, you got to ask yourself, okay, the middle rods in his hand, are they heavy? Do they make the punch heavier? What will it benefit him by having it? It would be different if his whole hand was steel, but these are just rods connecting his bones, right? To something or another. So I don't really think that it will benefit like that. I just think he has a heavy ass right hand because you have to think about it. He was knocking out people before he got it in there. You know what I mean? So it would be different if he got it and all of a sudden, hey, yeah, yeah, I'm knocking people out, and you're like, whoa, okay, what's up with this dude? Why is he all of a sudden knocking people out and he wasn't doing that early in his career? Then you might have a point on that. You know, I guess he was the day. I guess he was sick, man. It's bad. It's unfortunate. You know, he's already lost. He already has a loss when on the national television the next day. Okay, you don't think your man Wilder can beat Fury? I see. Well, I mean, I don't. I don't see what he can do to improve in this short amount of time. The good thing is that it was prolonged. I don't think he's just ready to get back in there with somebody like Fury. I think he needs to face his demons. He lost. He was beaten. His team stopped it, and they did a favor. Did it? You don't want to see him all beat up because he was messed up. His equilibrium, was messed up. His eardrum or whatever. But they said his ear was bleeding because I think maybe one of the loops or something like that. Because he wears, earrings and all that shit. And, he has all the tats. What's your favorite looking belt? Actually, the WBC is probably the prettiest. To be real, I mean, the shittiest sanctioning body, but the prettiest belt. Something about that green. Kurt, do you see Big Baby Miller slap beer of England fan on YouTube for if he could pass the Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. I do remember that. But that just shows you about Jarrell Miller. Like he'll be quick to jump down a fan or break his face, but then Tyson Fury can say something, and it's all love. Okay, it's interesting. All love, just like Ortiz. Kurt, did you see Big Baby Miller? Okay, just I think. Joe Joyce might be too much for Miller. He may be. He's big, he's strong, you know. I think Miller has him in the speed category, but then what's speed without endurance? See, again, I don't think that Jarrell Miller knew what he was getting. I don't think he knows. He personally don't know. He wants to test it out first. That's why he doesn't want to go up against someone like Joe Joyce, because if he's out of shape and he know he can't hang without those drugs, because you have to ask yourself, how many times did Jarrell Miller use PEDs? Because it obviously it showed you that he was either trying to cycle off of it, or he wanted to take his like last dose, before they start drug testing, and he didn't know they were going to drug test him at that time, and he just calculated it wrong, and they popped up on him, hey, ta-da, Vada motherfucker, we got to test you, right? So I don't know if we don't know how many fights he used that we didn't, because now we can just assume it all. We could think of the best, like, okay, he got caught one time, okay, fair play. But logic tells you, well, how many times did you do this? If you cheated with this fight or attempted to cheat, how many times did you cheat and get away with it? So that's what you ask yourself. So, Ring Magazine, the nicest looking belt. Don't know. Let me look up the Ring Magazine belt. Ring Magazine belt. Kind of looks old fashioned. Kind of looks like the British title, honestly. you know, is Joshua being unfairly punished for just losing one fight? People are making him seem so inferior to Fury, and I don't think that's the case. Well, Timothy, that's how it is. I think a lot of people will look at, and he will be criticized because the way he was hit, the way he reacted to the punches of Andy Ruiz, and they just want to know what happens. They might think he's chinny, they might think he's vulnerable, and for that, people doubt him, you know, but it is what it is. We will see what he does, you know. Yeah, it's right, lost one. Depends on how much he has in there. Unless he's got a lot, there won't be a benefit. Exactly. If he just using those metal rods again to, connect something or keep something intact, I don't see how that can benefit, you know? Counterpunch. How many good fights do you think Lomachenko left in his career? Man, probably about 4 or 5 before he starts slipping. He's a very gifted guy. I would love to see him fight Pretty Boy Mayweather. Pretty Boy Floyd and Lomachenko. Man, that would have been a great fight. You know? And I would like to see how he handles Lomachenko or how Lomachenko handles him. The shoulder roll. But he's a southpaw. That is an amazing fight that could have happened. He started to decline a bit. Yeah, he is ultimate. We've seen that. Is your place on lockdown? Yeah, it is, DJN1. Where you at? All right, where are you? But yeah, this is shut down. Louisiana is right beside Texas, and we have more cases here. It's crazy, man. You know? Mikey fights and beats Manny. Who should Mikey fight after? I don't know. Bob Arum stopping he's stopping possible fights with Mikey Garcia. Bob Arum can be, a pain in the ass too. You know, just knowing what we know is bad. Oh yeah, Malaches. You've been through Louisiana. What part of Louisiana? Got to ask yourself how many times Fury and Dillian White and Fat Dusty Miller have been on PEDs. Don't know. That's a very good question. But I can tell you, that I can tell you guys that Tyson Fury has passed every test that they've given him lately. So, when people talk about Fury and his drug use, I think it's unfair. That's just like this. It's 2020. Let's say in 2025, people are still talking shit about Jarrell Miller after he's done. Let's say he knocks out one of the heavyweight champs, becomes a heavyweight champ himself in 2 or 3 years, right? He comes on the scene, he beats these guys, he tests negative, 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 negative. But then, of course, you bring the shit up from 2019. So you bringing shit up from 2019, but he's passed every test up until that date. And then let's say some shit pops out that we didn't know, but we do know that he was banned or suspended, rather, right? And we know that. We know what happened. He got his punishment. He went on with his business, right? That's just like someone bringing that up now. I think that would be unfair. The same for Fury. Like, why are we bringing that shit up about him cheating? He hasn't cheated lately. Yeah, he's cheated before. So is Holyfield. So is Roy Jones. So is Sugar Shane. So is Fernando Vargas. You see what I'm going with this? So is Luis Ortiz. Dude, these people cheat. They use shit to give them an edge. Billy Joe Saunders. Okay? Either banned or PEDs or whatever. They all have took some shit that was on the banned substance list or the PED list. Okay? You know what I mean? It is what it is. Anthony Joshua has been hit by Carlos Takam and rocked Vladimir Klitschko. And a rocked and put down Dillian White and rocked and Ruiz and rocked and beating and outboxed 5 rounds against. Well, yeah, I think Anthony Joshua, you're better with hitting him upside the head in the temple area. Ooh, Bob Arum in 11% death rate. Yeah, but he doesn't give a shit. I'm gonna smoke my marijuana. That's gonna be my remedy. Let's see. Drove South Texas to Virginia. Got to see the dude wrestle a gator on the side of the road in Louisiana. It was his gig. Damn, that's nice. Yeah, well, the Kurt never popped, bro. Okay, like never popped dirty. No, he never popped dirty. You got to give him credit. Him, Mayweather, none of those guys. But for that matter, neither is Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? They never tested positive for that shit. The day you test them positive, you find some shit in their system, that's the day you can wag your finger. But until then, you can't say shit, really. You can speculate. Holyfield, Mr. PEDs, if they get caught a second time, their career is pretty much over. Yep, pretty much. Charlos are PED cheats. Okay, have they ever tested positive, the fish? Have they ever tested positive? That's what you ask yourself. We got to be fair about the shit, you know? Fear drug use is irrelevant. He is a real champion who has overcome adversity. You have to respect the work rate. Well, I mean, as far as work rate, I mean, he's fought 2 guys, 2 champs. He's beat 2 champs. He's undefeated. So he has 1 win, 1 draw. No, 2 wins and 1 draw and 1 knockout over 2 guys. Okay? In 3 fights. That's Deontay Wilder. Rank your top 10 pound for pound best current boxers. No, man. I haven't done one in a while. I have to sit down and really just think about it. You know, Bud Crawford, Lomachenko, pound for pound. I have to get back to you on that one. Zenshuro, you. I have to get back with you on that. If people don't want to forgive after serving punishment for being dirty, then ban them for life. We will see how that affects people's opinion. Yeah, I mean, if you can't fight, you can't fight. You're a cheat, you're just a cheat, and you're always a cheat because you'll never be able to redeem yourself at all because you'll never fight again. Damn. But it'll change how people cheat and what they do. You know, it'll still be some dumbass, but you a couple guys get banned for life. I think it'll stop a lot of shit. A lot of people will change the way they train, their strength and conditioning. That that Conti situation with the snack, all that shit will change. It'll all change. Just watch the first Ortiz fight. Wilder is going to be fat from depression. I can't see Wilder fat, honestly. He's just too slim of a dude. If he's fat, that's gonna be he's gonna be fat in a bad way. He's gonna have like a pot belly and shit. You'll see him looking like one of those Mississippi pimps that ate too much fried chicken. You know what I mean? And grease. He have the grease belly with indigestion all the time and shit. You know, Kurt, would love to see you make a parody video with all these voices you do. As the featured Bob Arum, Tyson Fury, Chris Eubank, Frank Bruno, Mike Tyson, Andy Ruiz, and Pac-Man. It would be hilarious. Ron, you know what? I might just do that. Fuck it. I ain't doing nothing else. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's not like we can work. Our show, our production is down. You know, we don't know when they're gonna come back. So yeah, so that would be a good one. Fury's going to sleep next fight for real. Oh snap! There you go. Confidence. That's what I want to hear. Laws D Punch Out TV. I want to hear shit like that. I want to hear confidence in Wilder. People like forget that like he can still punch. He might not have a technique or a good technique or a good strategy, but if he can land that punch and that punch make that punch stick, it is what it is. We'll see. You know, hell yeah, I think I'll do that though. Let me see. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me screenshot it. Okay, cool. I'll screenshot it and then I'll do one of them. Just
My apologies. I don't understand.
okay. I wasn't talking to you. Anyway, Luff Z. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. C stance. He might. Wilder can still do him, but Bun the exercises. I don't know, man. I think Wilder is a guy that he might be broken, he might not. But his speech, it lets you know he's definitely one of those guys that he loves to have a crowd. You know what I mean? If he has followers, he has confidence. You know, so what's Pivo? Oh, Pivo. Oh, got Pivo means it's in Yugoslavian. It means do you got beer? That's what that means. You got Bevel? It's crazy. I was coming out of Austin and it was this like Yugoslavian store, right? And they have a lot of stuff with Pivo on it. And I had to ask that question. I'm like, what the hell is Pivo? They're like, beer. It's beer, man. I'm like, okay. So got beer, you know? It's funny, I got my dad a hat like this, right? Because I get him a hat from anywhere in the world I go. I buy him a hat, okay? Well, I got him a hat just like this, right? And I had to get one. I'm like, dude, I want one. And then now he's walking around with this shit. You don't even know what it means. I think I told him, but I don't know if he remembers or whatever. But it is what it is. Wilder is Lacey 2.0. He's done. Not Jeff Lacey. Left hook Lacey. They used to call Jeff Lacey a little Holyfield. I don't know if you guys remember that. Jeff Lacey, he was a bowled up motherfucker, wasn't he? But guess what? Lacey could punch. He just wasn't a very good boxer. You know, like Adam Kalnaki, that guy, man, he just took him to school. Wilder should bring Lennox Lewis into camp. Guy, you know what? He should. That's a great point. He should bring someone like Lennox Lewis because again, Lennox Lewis was the guy that was mentoring him when he was earlier in his career, teaching this guy, you know. Bivol is Bivol's drunk brother. I remember he got schooled by Kawasaki and Jones Jr. Yep. And then see, that was a Roy Jones Jr. that was already knocked out. So a lot of people thought, well, if Jeff Lacey can do that to Roy, because people were Roy is a phenomenal person. Okay, he makes you think a lot, and he does things. I mean, he's not bothered by the O or none of that. That's Mayweather's problem. Mayweather was hung up on that. So if you focus on something long enough, that's what you're going to be obsessed with. And Mayweather, as years grew went on, he was obsessed with the O. So it's like anything to keep the O. Yeah, he was a great fighter, but then he was picking certain fights at the end of his career that he knew. Like his last fight should have never been Mayweather Berto. You know what I mean? I don't care what, Berto had 4 losses. And what's the first thing Mayweather used to say about people that lost? Remember, he used to say, "Oh, you mean Sugar Shane Mosley, the one with 5 losses? That Mosley? The dude got 5 losses?" Like he said about Gotti. Ain't no motherfucker gonna beat me with 5 losses. Because that's what he looked at. He looked at how many times that fighter's been beaten. You know what I mean? But he contradicted himself fighting someone like Berto. He should have fought Thurman. If he would have fought Thurman and beat Thurman like Pacquiao beat Thurman, he would have been looked at in a totally different light. But instead, what he did, he planted the seed of Errol and Keith Thurman because he didn't want to fight Thurman. See, Thurman wanted it. Thurman, you better not dog me, son. You better not dog me, son. That Thurman. That dude was ready for Floyd. And it only really cripples his credibility as a great fighter by not fighting these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to fight the dude that other people avoided. You know what I mean? Like he did with Canelo when he was 36. Okay, right? Why couldn't he fight Keith? Keith was another undefeated fighter. So was Canelo. So was he, right? He could have been the last must go. Floyd Mayweather, 49th fight, taking on the best, hungry, pound for pound, one of the best welterweights out there, Keith one time Thurman. Think about that. What would you think that would have done for Floyd's career? You see what I'm saying? Floyd. Everybody wanted Floyd. Lotta wanted Floyd. Trout wanted Floyd. Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. All these people wanted Floyd. And Floyd played matchmaker. So yes, Floyd was obsessed with the O and he was obsessed with keeping the O. It's a lot. It's political more than a lot of things because he was. Because see, here's the thing. I think if Floyd would have been admired by more people instead of hated, he would have fought better opposition. Let me explain. Okay, Floyd is a great fighter. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he took away from himself because he had so many haters. He had people that hated him so much to the point where he would not give those people that hated him the satisfaction, okay, of losing. Because he could always say, "Fuck you, never. Y'all don't like me. Y'all don't like me. Fuck that. I never lost. You never seen me lose. I bet you never seen that. Fuck you, Larry Merchant. They should fire your ass. You ain't shit. You're not shit. You don't know shit about boxing, right? See, if he would have had more lovers, if they would have loved him, right? Instead of like criticized him, he probably would have fought more of them because that would have opened up doors because then he would have knew like, hey, people like me, they admire me. But no, they hated Floyd. And Floyd was like, fuck you guys. I'm not fighting that young ass dude because what'll do, you guys are looking for me to lose. So then you can sit back and cheer and pop Moet and celebrate my loss and my downfall. That's what they wanted. And he didn't give it to them. So I don't think it was Floyd per se ducking these dudes because of why we think he ducked them. Yeah, he ducked Thurman. He know he ducked. Don't duck be thun Thurman. He ducked him. Yes, he did. Of course he did. But he did it because he didn't want, maybe this dude might beat my ass. If he does, that'll give those clowns over there that hates me the opportunity to celebrate. And he took that from them. Okay? And he made a lot of money off my dislike. Exactly. You go to see him lose, Jim Brown. Counterpunch to you. That's what Floyd did in a nutshell. He didn't want to fight those top dudes because he knew one of these motherfuckers might beat me because he's seen it time and time and time again. Anybody that looks at boxing, everybody has their rise, everybody has their peak, then everybody has their downcline, their downfall. Okay, they start downclining. The testosterone at 35. For some people 30, some people 35, hell, some people at 40. Their testosterone levels start dropping. Their reflexes are not the same. They can't do what they used to do at an earlier age. Okay? And that's what happens. And Floyd knows that. Floyd knew eventually because he's smart. Okay? Floyd's smart. The people around him are smarter. And they knew, no, Floyd is going to be that example of perfection for a black fighter. He won't be like Lennox Lewis. I mean, sorry, not Lennox Lewis. He won't be like Muhammad Ali. He won't be like Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. He looked at Roy Jones. Floyd saw Roy in himself, and he saw what could have been his career had he fought everybody. Okay, you guys don't understand? I've seen a interview with Floyd, and he was comparing himself to Roy Jones Jr. Okay, he was comparing himself to Roy Jones Jr. and he was like, those guys, and he was saying to people like from HBO hated me. That's why he went over to Showtime and got all that money over there, right? CBS, Fox, Showtime gave him that big huge deal. Okay, but the guys over there hated him. They couldn't stand him. Larry Merchant, Jim Lampley, those guys hated him. But Roy was that guy that he looked up to. He was like the big brother. Okay, Roy was the big brother of Floyd. Roy was doing this shit, knocking everybody out. Y'all must have forgot. Remember that? Roy did it first. Everything that Floyd done, Roy did it already. Roy was a fighter of the decade in the 90s, people. And Floyd knew my big brother Roy, and he seen what they did to him. They took his O when nobody could fucking beat Roy Jones Jr. Nobody. You know, which decisions he got gifted? You're talking about the Castillo, right? And here's the thing about Castillo. That is questionable, right? But anyway, let me explain. Roy seen, Floyd seen Roy go through these adversities with these people that hated him. Each time Roy made a fight look easy because he was so much better than those guys. They hated that. Oh, we want to see entertainment. This Roy, this is what happens. They try to do it to Bernard Hopkins too, saying stupid shit. Like, why did you fight this guy? And Bernard was like, it's my fucking mandatory. If I don't fight my mandatory, I'm gonna be stripped. Larry, stop being ignorant. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Like Floyd seen what they did to Roy and how Roy fought these guys aggressively, and he went all the way to heavyweight. Then on his way back down, he got knocked out in the second fight of Antonio Tarver. Okay. Now, Floyd knew somebody that gifted like Roy, big and strong, powerful, he had it all. He had the lip, he had the grip, he had the walk, he had the fucking talk, right? Y'all must have forgot. That was Roy, okay? So Roy was that dude that, well, damn, if Roy can be beat, I could be beat. You know what I mean? Zarro's 2 times. Counterpunch to you, brother. So Floyd knew that. You know, Floyd knew that shit. He knew, like, if I keep fighting these dudes, eventually somebody's going to get me. Especially, my hands are brittle. I can't punch like I used to. And if you add that to common sense that, hey, I can't even fight these motherfuckers off with the punches that I know I can hit them with. Floyd he fights and he strategically fought in a certain way to preserve his hands. Okay? And that's hard to do when you got a young, fresh, undefeated, hungry ass fighter that wants to dethrone you. It's hard to keep him off your ass when you got those type of odds against you. So no, he wasn't going to go in there and fight nobody like Thurman. Okay? Well, Floyd ducked Margarito. Let me be real with you, though. Margarito was already out the fucking door by the time a possibility of him fighting. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Because when Margarito beat Cotto, right? The next fight that he fought was against Sugar Shane, and that's when his ass was exposed, GB Boxing. You see what I'm saying? So Margarito was a cheat. So everything said and done, in hindsight, Margarito didn't deserve a fucking opportunity. So I don't even want to hear Margarito. He doesn't even deserve an opportunity. He got his ass knocked out, and it was crazy. And then Cotto fought a dude that was cheating for 11 rounds. But eventually that shit caught up with him. You know what I mean? Fucking plaster of Paris. Okay? You know, imagine Flyer seeing Purnell get robbed. Panati, counterpunch to you. Was mentioned earlier about Jones Jr. turning down $40 million to fight Mike Tyson. Yeah, that I heard about that. I remember that back in the day, to fight Mike. I don't know what type of fight that would have been though, honestly. You know what I mean? Like Mike moving side to side. Roy. With his stance. I don't know, but Roy was very realistic. Roy knew one of these heavyweights catch me with the wrong punch, they can knock me out. He knew that about John the Quiet Man Ruiz when he took that strap. He knew the risks, though. He risked that. I seen that interview. Marge ran up to Floyd, and I see the fear in Floyd's face, bro. when Marge, who? It was funny to see. To be fair, who the hell is Marge? I don't know who that is. Surprised the LDDC have not tried to say Fury put concrete in his gloves. Well, they've said everything else, and they just hurt. You know what I mean? It just shows you the level of pain that they're going through. We got to make something up. Floyd versus Purnell would have been weird matchup, probably kind of boring. Who would be the aggressor? Probably nobody. It would have, you know what it would have been? It would have been like, did you guys remember seeing Whitaker and Oscar De La Hoya? That was a boring ass fight. And Pernell Whitaker had a knockdown on Oscar, and they still gave it to him, right? But what was a good fight was Whitaker Chavez. That draw that those guys got. No, Whitaker tapped that ass. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna watch that after I get off this live stream. Really dig your vids. You need a podcast. Yeah, that would be cool. That's like phase two. You know what I mean? But I like doing the videos, and then I could do the podcast daily, kind of like a live thing. That would been cool. Um, so menu cheats. Boxing today. Tyson Fury, Dillian White, Fat Dusty Miller. Who's next? Who's next? We'll see. We will see. Assuming Wilder win, will there be a fourth fight since Fury has the belt now? If he beats Wilder again, Wilder just should really sit down, think about his career, take the advice he probably gave his brother about his own career, and do that. You know, Sam Poor. Talking of Roy, everyone says he wasn't in his prime when he lost to Calzaki. However, that was Joe's last fight and far from the best, which people seem to forget. Well, yeah, but Joe, you know, excuse me, Kalnaki was just a hell of a fighter, but he did fight an older Roy. It's just Roy fought way past his prime. That's what you need to realize. So, yeah, he fought Roy out. He wasn't in his prime. Not saying Roy can always fight. Run up on Roy now and see what he'll do if you fuck with Roy. Roy will probably beat you up. So that's not the case. What I'm trying. What the point is, Roy fought too long. So by the time when he should have already retired after Glenn knocked him out, there shouldn't have been any Kawasaki fight. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't even been that. That fight shouldn't even really been made. You know. But and then Kalnaki just knew when to retire too, Sam. So he knew when to retire. So it's when to get out of that vicious cycle. Boxing is hell. Boxing is something is very exciting. It's very adrenaline pumping. You're fighting. You know, it's almost like a drug. That's why people can't let it go. Look at Manny Pacquiao. This dude's 41 years old. I feel strong. I feel like a new 40. I feel good. I'm ready to fight. It's my passion. Dude, I thought your passion was being a congressman. Please do that. Because somebody's going to go out there and hurt him. And I seen the Thurman fight last, and a lot of people, yeah, he beat Thurman. But do you understand that was a very warranted split decision? I wasn't mad over that. Why? Because Keith Thurman was hitting Manny Pacquiao with punches that he normally don't get hit with, and people don't know. You don't understand that they're looking and they're praising Manny. Yeah, it was great. He did what he did when he was 40 years old, for Christ's sake. But at the same time, he took a lot of punishment. We have to understand that. You know, Jones Tarver won. He actually looked old and drained. Word of the day, he was old and drained. He was coming. Do you understand he fought Antonio Tarver at 175? Do you understand he had to drop like 25, 30 pounds? Wait, 75. Okay. 25, 30 pounds. So 205 is the limit. So he had to go up to heavyweight. You understand he was just coming down from heavyweight? You strip all that muscle off, that's where it's going to leave you. You don't want that, especially to make weight. That's dangerous. And then he was still able to beat Tarver the first time. People forget all about that. They just remember that second fight when he got knocked out. The real official loss of Roy Jones. You know? And really, Roy should have either retired or, and what he should have done, he should have fought at a catch weight. He should have fought him at like cruiserweight, like 185. You know what I mean? Kawasaki stopped because his dad died, didn't he? I'm not sure. Lost one. I'm not sure. I was sure why he stopped. Your opinion is not a fact. Okay. Duly noted. Can't really blame him, especially when he and your trainer. Okay, I don't know what that is in regard to. I think Wilder beats everyone apart from Fury as of today. Okay, that very well may be the case. I mean, he loses one fight, you don't give up on him. That's the fans that I can't stand. One, you love Wilder one day, and now you don't the next. You know, Fight fan, in your opinion, is the bottom of my toilet. Okay, so is yours. Matter of fact, your opinion has been flushed. So it is what it is. Laws D Punch Out TV, Captain Shit. That's what's up. Coke Stokes, Coke Stokes, boxing. What's up, Kurt? Everything going on your end? Stay safe. You too, brother. Jim Boo, talk about being old Pac-Man should retire. He should. He should retire. He's done enough. Leave on top. Leave when people love you. You know what I mean? Exit out of the game. Teach your son. Train other people to be another. Look for the next Pacquiao. Do that. Why he shouldn't have never rematched Tarver. He should have finished his career at. Yeah. Yeah, he should have. Antonio Matthews, absolutely. Abs UK, what's up, brother? I'm good. Just staying low. Actually getting hungry, about to cook something up. Carry Wilder's costume in his next fight. How about carry his ass? How about pick Wilder up and take him to the stage? Now, if he would have done what Fury have done, he would have had no excuse. If he had actually had people just carrying him there. You know, but the costume was dope though. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, it's it was cool. You know what I mean? It was like some uh Superman, like some Black Panther shit. You know what I mean? It was cool though. I liked it because I'm into comic books and shit. That was like my first love. So love to watch comic books. So to be definitely a great comic book character. When will Pacquiao retire then? I don't want to see him have slurred speech or get knocked out badly. I want to see him live well. He's been an all time great and a great ambassador for the sport. Timothy, I agree. See, it's like this. Would you rather be Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao after boxing? See, something you love doing, and I guess for the spirit of the human spirit of of just all out selfishness as a person loves to do something that causes damage to him, you have to consider what it does to that person if you care for that person. You know, you're right. You don't want him. He's only 41. You don't want him from stars. Manny Pacquiao and was a congressman. You're like, nah, dude, don't do that. you know, hit that like button, people. It is 91 on the chat, and we got 39 likes. Hit that like for me. Wilder would not be able to KO Ruiz Jr., so that fight would go 12 rounds. Or will it go 12 rounds, David? I mean, you kind of, if Ruiz Jr. fights, especially he's used to fighting taller fighters, he might be able to stop Wilder. And probably, if you look at how Ruiz fights, if you notice how Joshua in the first fight, he clammed up, right? In that defense mode, but that's the same shit that Deontay Wilder does all the time anyway. What was Deontay Wilder doing when they stopped it? In the corner, right? On the defense, with his hands up, with his guards up. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury was punching around the guard and through the guard. Andy Ruiz would do the same shit. He did it to Joshua, right? Boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? Opening up a can of whoop ass. He could do that with him. You know? And then see someone like Ruiz, if you notice, was Ruiz tired in seventh round? Fuck no, he wasn't. You know, I mean, he was ready to go because he knew that he was hurting. He was backing up Joshua, and Joshua was getting hurt with those blows because he was already damaged. He'd already hurt him already. Okay. So it could be David. It could be a knockout. So who says it'll go 12 rounds? Because if Ruiz can get him in the corner and start welling on him, yeah, that might be all she wrote. Another towel might be thrown in. Throw in that damn towel. He's killing them. Why does Ortiz get so much credit for losing a fight to a champion instead of what he has accomplished? I don't know. Alegba, I don't know. I have no idea. Very good question. All I do want to see is Luis Ortiz. I want to see him in with those. I don't give a shit how old he is because here's the deal. He looked good against Wilder. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for the right hand, he would have beat Wilder. What would he do against White? What would he do against Ruiz? What would he do against Joshua? You see what I'm saying? I want to see these fights. So I'm not gonna give him too much credit, but I'm not gonna take away credit until I see what he can do with other fighters. Dude, does Usyk stop Chisora? I doubt that. And if he does, he's a bad mother. Because that means he's packing enough power to hurt Chisora. And you got to knock out Chisora to stop him from knocking you out. That's Chisora's thing. He's going to knock you out, or you better knock him out. Like, for real. You know. Costume was garbage. Oh, man. It was all right. Fight fan 30. Do you get paid while you're on lockdown? No, absolutely not. I got my last check week before last. That was it. Boom. 78 Sports TV has Wilder style action man figure he takes to go to bed with him every night. Yeah, I guess. Whatever makes him feel, whatever floats his boat, man. Boxing, not Marvel. I hate the costume and ring walks. Boxing is not WWE. Well, I mean, when it does have its own level of excitement, it shows character within the fighters. That's why things like All Access with Showtime or 24/7 wasn't popular because it showed what these people like, what were their other interests. They're not just dumb brutes in the ring beating each other to death, right? These people are husbands, brothers, other things. You know what I mean? They have other interests. You see what's behind that. And that just shows personality, I feel. So my opinion, I like that shit. I like the Gypsy King coming out looking like a fucking, king. You know what I mean? King of England or something like that. So I like it. Did you get to enjoy your Resident Evil game on lockdown? Man, I was playing it last night and I'm playing actually. I beat Leon's, but then I was playing. It's three other scenarios, and I'm playing the second. I beat the first scenario with this dude. If you play the game, it's this dude that his daughter gets it, and then she dies, so he has to kill his daughter, and he was about to kill himself or whatever, and then he gets his best friend on the walkie, and that kind of motivates him to get to where he's at. It's pretty good, but then there's two more episodes like that. So now I'm playing, and I got killed a few times. Shit's hard though. It ain't easy, which is good because it's a challenge, you know. So yeah, Jim, it was cool. I might play it again tonight. I always wait to nighttime to play it anyway. Do you Chisora can march through Usyk? Do you think Chisora can march through Usyk if he keeps pressure on him? I don't know because I want to see that fight because I want to see how Usyk deals with a bigger guy that does put pressure on him. You know what I mean? Will that be his kryptonite? That might be, if he can't move like that, or will he implement like a rope a dope or something like that? You know what I mean? But we'll see. But Pac, like Brandy, love the sport. He can't let it go. Yep, he can't. Stealth sniper. Young Pharaoh and the LDBC are delusional beyond belief. Young Pharaoh is not a boxing channel, man. He's not. He's not even a boxing channel. So he's just a guy that he has different topics, a lot of clickbait shit, a lot of other ideologies and spacecrafts and, different controversial things, touchy subjects. A lot of people go there that already has that ideology anyway. So it is what it is. And those guys just jumped on the bandwagon. I bet you if young Pharaoh didn't have 100,000 or 200, I don't know how many. If he didn't have the subscribers, he wouldn't. They wouldn't even gave a shit about what he said. You know what I mean? They know he had a following and they jumped on it because they know people will listen. Fear has given everyone a blueprint to beat Wilder. Yeah, I think a lot of people have already. It's just like you just never saw it done. Shouts out to Juicy Lee. There are a lot of parallels between Rousey and Wilder. It is. It is definitely. Thank you for the super chat. Counterpunch to you. He said, I wasn't talking about your opinion, Kurt. I was thinking of to a fight fan. Oh, okay. Well, you know, my fault. Because I was thinking, like, well, damn, that's why people are here. Listen to what I got to say. I'm confused by Ruiz. I feel he can be an elite heavyweight, but I have my reservations. Does he have the real passion of the sport? No, Timothy, the money is his passion. The money was his motivation. It was the fucking money. The money will ruin anybody. You can give a person that has a goal and he's trying to fulfill that goal, right? And so he's doing what it takes. He might not have enough money. He just has enough to do what he needs to do. He might pray. He might have faith. He might do what he needs to do because he wants to accomplish something, whatever that is. Going to school to be an RN or, going to truck driving school or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? Something that drives him that he's driven to do. Give his ass $2 million and see if he still has that same drive. Motherfucker might drop out of the truck academy, drop out of clinicals and all that, because money can demotivate you more than motivate you, you know? How many times have you heard, man, if I had $1 million, man, if I got $10 million, man, I quit my job tomorrow, right? That shuts everything down in retrospect. So, you know, it's the money, Timothy. I think that's what it is. I don't think that he actually is driven to do much. You know what I mean? I don't think. I think he has enough money. He made 5 million, well, 7 million plus another 13. He made $20 million last year. Shit, and if he probably had, I don't know how much he has now, but he doesn't need money. So he's like, what is the real purpose now? I'm not broke no more. I'm not hungry no more. In fact, I'm eating everything in sight. I don't need this shit. I don't need it. You know what I mean? Fuck boxing. Thank you, but fuck you. You know what I mean? So no, it's probably just money. I think the top heavyweights knew how to beat Wilder, but he wouldn't fight them. Correct. I mean, Wilder Wilder, I think he was obsessed with the what's the word? Power, the protection, you know? The protection Wilder had from people that he didn't have to fight. You know, if someone doesn't make you do something and you know you're protected, you know, you're going to think, well, I'm better than him. Look what he called Dillian White, a peasant. He didn't call Dominic Brazil that shit, did he? He never called him that. Dominic Brazil was never a fucking champion, was he? He didn't call him a peasant. Think about that. But Dillian White's a peasant, right? But it is what it is. Ruiz beats Wilder, in my opinion. He could, you know. And then, but one thing I want to see, I would love to see Ruiz fight Wilder because I want to see Wilder land that right hand, and then we can see how powerful that right hand really is. Because Ruiz can go down people. You know what I'm saying? Ruiz can go down. He went down in the Joshua fight. That's how he won. He got fucking Joshua all okay. Let me finish this guy off, right? And get caught. You know. So I want to see if that right hand can knock out Ruiz. You know, and that would be a good comeback. Okay, let's say Wilder loses to Fury. Okay, and then he can fight Ruiz. Let's say he knocks out Ruiz. That'll bring him right back. You know, Wilder skinny legs can't carry him under pressure. He do have some skinny ass legs, man. But that don't mean just because you have skinny legs don't mean you're weak. Okay, you just have skinny ass legs. You know, they're meant to be. You could probably run fast. You know, they're meant to be swift. Men's Law Entertainment. Salute to you, brother. Counterpunch to you. Best walk out costume is Mike Tyson's rags. He ripped. Shaw was dope and scary as hell. Hell yeah, Mike just come out and shit with the shit all just it just shit just folded over. You just see a little hole where he puts his head. You know what I mean? Google Global Truth Project and read the present to see the truth concerning life and death, which is supported by evidence. Everyone needs to read it ASAP because it can change the world. Wow. Okay. Wilder's team failed him. He needed a sword, not a shield. Well, that's true. The Bane 1986. What's up, brother? Kind of punch to you. I like the ring walk. I can't remember Jorge Paez. And oh yeah, yeah, I can remember Jorge Paez. I remember him. And Camacho Sr. Yeah, yeah. Jorge Paez was a funny ass dude, man. You know, he used to train himself. He used to go out in the in the desert and shit in Mexico and train himself. I remember that guy. He got brutally knocked out by Eric Morales though. Back when Eric Morales was just whooping everybody when he was undefeated for the long time, for the longest. Yeah, he fucked him up. That might have been one of his last fights, honestly. Huh. Yeah, I remember Jorge Paez had the mohawk and shit. Yeah, you know, Usyk is taking a great step by fighting Chisora, and if he beats Chisora, he'll be as great as Holyfield. Well, you know, Holyfield is you know, one of the best. Holyfield has been through a lot of wars. Ortiz took way too long to find someone that ain't a bum. Jorge Paez coming out in a wedding gown. Yeah, he was a weird cat. I believe if Wilder gets fit and serious, he can defeat Fury. Remember Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas? Yeah. 78 Sports TV is real good, brother. Okay. I haven't heard him in a very long time. Please, people and fight fans, like the video. Thanks. Yeah, hit that like button. Andreas Matin. What's up, Kurt? I'd like to ask, when do you see this virus? I don't know, man. I have no idea. Hopefully soon. Better sooner than later. You know, but I think people need to be more aware of things that could possibly go wrong now. I think more people will, when they get relaxed, we start to take things for granted, especially over here, or in the UK. You see something happens way over there in China, you're like, that's just there. That shit ain't gonna happen, whatever. But when they started like sealing off people that was sick, that's when I was starting to say, like, damn, wait a minute. What the hell are we really dealing with? That was that first thing. And it was a trip. A good friend of mine's mom, like months ago, she was like, hey, she told her daughter, a friend of mine, to buy a lot of water. Like this is like in late December. And then she was like, because we're gonna need it. I just had a vision. We're gonna need this water. So they bought water. They bought like, all the other essentials for your house. And I was like, wow. And now this goes on. So she was right. Wilder kicked AJ when he was down, when he lost to AJ. Never said nothing to Wilder when he lost. That's class. Yeah, Michael, before. That's true. Man, it just shows you the difference between two different people, man. That's it. Wilder, he's a jealous. Don't know about jealous. I think he's an envious asshole. Not a jealous. I think he's an envious asshole. You know, and envy is a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing. You know, he was glad to say that. Wilder was the happiest guy in the world from June to December. He was the happiest fucking guy in the world because he didn't have to worry about fighting the guy that everybody wanted him to fight, that he claimed he wanted to fight. So, oh yeah, the young phony. I low key think Charles Martin beats Wilder in a blueprint is out if he fought with a legit puncher. Juicy Lee, that could be the case, right? That could definitely be the case because we have Charles Martin. And look, the more you fight, the more opposition you're gonna run into. That's just real. Don't let Martin sneak up on the heavyweights. Robles has him walking the earth like a god. I walk this earth like a god. Yeah, I mean, but all things happen for a reason. Charles Martin, he's used a lot of that money up. He got about 7, 8 million, and now he's, coming back to down to earth. Now he's hungry again. Now he's ready to fight these top guys again. You know what I mean? So maybe Andy Ruiz, when the money gets dry, then he'll get hungry again. I think that's the only time you'll see that. And that might be a couple of years from now for him to blow through that damn money, right? I want to see how strong that Ruiz chain is or chin is, right? Yeah, I want to see it too. That's why I want to see Deontay Wilder punch him. I want to see him getting punched by Wilder to see if Wilder can lay in. Because Wilder, he fights with his legs far apart. Wilder can't take a punch. And if doubt, go back and rewatch all the fights. You'll find out that non-punchers do hurt him. Yeah, I got Shannon the Cannon. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. I will knock you out. Let's go, champ. Ruiz got dropped by Joshua because he was standing square, not because he was hurt. I don't know. I don't know. He look, that shit surprised him. That left hook surprised him. I don't think he got hit with a punch like that too. I think the left hook had a lot to do with it. You know. Larone 9817 counterpunch to you back. Enough said. Respect counterpunch reviews or respect. Gotta say, in my humble opinion, AJ is the best heavyweight champion. About Tyson is the Dawson. Look, we got to see those guys fight before making that type of thing, but that's your opinion. Respect. 78 is a very stupid man. Same as Blue Blood. Same, need to face the fact. Anyway, Wilder took also the place people pushed him for. The industry I'm is fireworks. I believe Wilder isn't really the guy we see. People made him this, and he took it. I believe that moonshine underscore blade. You know, he bought into it. He thought that he was something, and he clearly ain't. Unfortunately for his brother got exposed early in the game. You know, even Joshua loses, he was still a bigger star than Wilder when he was undefeated. Wilder and Joshua, what's a comparison? There's like that's like a watermelon to an apple. You know what I mean? Like Wilder, he didn't do he wouldn't Wilder didn't do what he had to do. And I don't think that he they didn't plan for him to be that big. See, Joshua's shit just took off. Of course. Is it Midge Brown? Shout out to Midge Brown. Counterpunch boxing and a good counterpunch to you, Midge Brown. AJ is still the man for me, but Dillian the most improved in the past couple of years. Who do you got in a rematch, Kurt? I don't know. I wouldn't really be surprised if Dillian won, based on what Dillian knows about Anthony Joshua. Okay, see, if you know a fighter and you've been in the ring with a fighter and you've lost to a fighter, see, does does Dillian White learn from his mistakes? No problem, Jim. Does he learn from his mistakes? That's what you ask. Like, well, if he catches them, will he? It probably would be an exciting fight, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Dillian White beat Joshua because Joshua. See, I don't think Joshua really just wanted to fight him again because he's already knocked him out. Joshua was mad when Dillian White called him a lanky piece of shit. You guys remember that? I'm talking about that lanky piece of shit over there. You know, this shit will be over by the end of June. They will claim they have a vaccine. Do not take the vaccine. Hell no, I ain't taking shit. I ain't taking a flu shot. I ain't taking none of that. If it don't broke, don't fix it, and I ain't broke. Fuck it. No, I'm good. How you around this bitch walking backwards and shit? You hear about the girl that took the flu shot and she can't walk from she walks all crazy, but she can walk just to walk backwards. It's fucking crazy, crazy. No, 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 thank you. No thanks. Fight fan 30, counterpunch to you. I'm not for vaccines and shit. I'm not one of them people. Wilder, AJ likes Floyd and Broner. Wilder, AJ like Floyd and Broner. How so? Is the Ring magazine putting White at number 3 in the world fair? To be fair, he has fought better opponents than Wilder. Wilder was a champion, so that might be disrespectful. Well, it just shows you the perks you get when you're a champ. You know, you get put in situations or rankings that you really don't deserve. You know, no. LaRon 9817. It's not that made you walk backwards. It's the fact that she could only walk normal when she walked backwards. Shit's crazy. I can't make this up, man. It's this chick, and then she took a flu shot, and then ever since then, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, Wilder, AJ, like Floyd and Broner. I don't get the comparison though. Yeah, it is crazy, man. It's crazy. I think Joseph Parker should be ranked higher than Wilder. Well, take them damn shots. Fuck that default apocalypse. That's what it'll be. A fucking default apocalyptic situation if you take that shot. Better walk backwards than die by corona. Nah, fuck that. I'm good. Comparison and popularity. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Makes sense. I get it now. I get it now. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, that is true. Because Broner was making a big stink at one point. Until he got shut down and shut out. Only two cases of corona in my 70,000 city. Fingers crossed. Adam Cram, where are you at? Odosa, good morning to you. Counterpunch to you. Locking down West Texas tomorrow over 12 cases. Ah, shit's spreading, man. People just need to stay inside. And you know where they're getting this shit from? They're getting it from the supermarkets. See, everybody's running to the supermarket, and then they should have really select times when people come and go to the supermarket. Injecting you with the weakened form of the virus is still injecting you with the virus. Absolutely. Antonio, counterpunch to you. Umbrella loves you. you know, fuck Raccoon City. 94 people watching, and please hit the like button. Yeah, let's get it to 93 likes. Everybody, like check. Hit the like button for me. Dillian and AJ is going to be a great scrap for sure. Better AJ versus Fury or Wilder because of the history, but Dillian White fights a little boring to me. Now he gets tired. He starts to slug. Well, see, that's what put Dillian White on the redemption list. See, all that time he was going through that shit with UCAD, which is very janky. Is a very janky organization, by the way. But I feel that Dillian should have at least came in shape. If you can't do anything, stay in shape. He came in there looking like the fucking Michelin man. Do you see in that big ass belly? I'm like, dude, what's up with you? And then there, and Marius Walk was that kind of dude. He was game because Dillian White, you could tell he was almost like a fat dude. He couldn't generate any power because he was so much out of shape. Oh, redemption list because you have to be prepared. You have to be a professional. So you professionally knew you had to be in a certain type of shape. He's no different from Andy Ruiz, right? Look. I can't counterpunch one without the other because they both did the same shit. They came in fucking fat, not ready, not really prepared, and damn. And the only difference, Dillian White didn't win. This vaccine doesn't have the dead virus in it. This kind of virus doesn't require this, I heard. Watch the interview with the weird lady they tested it on. Okay. Whatever. I mean, probably it's going to be scary though, because the way this shit is, the way it's killing people, they're probably going to mandate you to fucking take it. Now, a lot of things you have to ask yourself, should you take it? You know what I mean? Like, if they make you take it, a lot of people, hey, that's the mark of the beast. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is something you got to take. It's for your own good. If you don't take it, you go to jail or whatever. Don't know, man. It's crazy. Kurt, can you please name boxing eras from strongest to weaker in your opinion? Well, I can tell you this. Let's look at the welterweight division. The welterweight division now has no comparison to the welterweight division 20 years ago. De La Hoya, Trinidad, Sugar Shane Mosley, you had Jose Luis Lopez, you had I Corte, you had Six Head Lewis. You had a lot of these guys back then. Those guys would destroy these fighters now. You know, Trinidad De La Hoya and Sugar Shane Mosley, they would beat all these guys, all of them. And see, you had an era of 10 years ago, like you had Mayweather, then you had Manny Pacquiao. You had these guys that were the best of their era because they beat those guys from the last of their era and retired a lot of people. De La Hoya was retired by Manny Pacquiao. He was the one that done that. But De La Hoya was regarded as one of the best fighters. I don't see De La Hoya getting beat by Danny Garcia or Keith Thurman. You know what I mean? Errol Spence may be a good fight for him since Errol Spence comes forward, but that might be his downfall. Because De La Hoya is one hell of a fighter, but he is his kryptonite is body punches. So Errol Spence might hold up against some fighters like that, but a prime Sugar Shane Mosley would starch Earl Spence. You know what I mean? There would be no comparison. You know, Trinidad and Earl Spence, big time. You know. No, now they're talking about the weight difference between Wilder and Fury. Okay, whatever. Cool. I hope Wilder don't drop the ball against Povetkin. He rolled the dice against Rivas. Now he's rolling them again. You know, Povetkin, he might have one good fight left. And if Dillian White comes in that fucking fight fat, he's going to get knocked out flat. Counterpunch. He comes in there with that bullshit like he did with Marius Walk, which I doubt because he's training now. He's in Portugal right now training. He drove like 40 hours from the UK to Portugal. Damn, I wonder if he had to drive through Italy. Huh. Anyway, because you know Spain and Portugal is but then Italy's the south, right? I'm not sure. Gotta look at the map. Thousands have recovered from this also. Absolutely, Jim Brown. See, that's what people need to have their faith in. To understand this shit ain't a death sentence. It's killing people, but it's not a death sentence. Hell, I might have it, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I don't taste shit really. You know what I mean? But they say your taste comes back or whatever. I don't know. But I ain't dead. I ain't around this bitch can't breathe and have to put me on a ventilator or nothing like that. But you do have to stay away from people with weaker immune systems. I think your immune system has a lot to do with it too. You know, how it affects you, you know. And it might be of how much you're exposed to this shit. Let's say you're in a room full of the germs and you're sitting in there for an hour. You might get that much sicker. Let's say you go in there 2 or 3 minutes and you come out. Well, you might be less sick because you're less exposed. Anyway, I'm not sure. The dangerous thing about corona is that it spreads before you have symptoms. If there's a safe vaccine, you should take it to protect yourself and people around you. I guess if there's a safe, because that might have some undesired effects, like death. you know, oh, my fucking liver's dying. It's fucking, liver's giving out. Only 6% require hospital. Yeah, yeah, that's good. The danger thing about okay, yeah, Winky Wright, another one. You think Winky Wright will get beat by someone like Keith Thurman? Winky Wright would destroy Thurman. You see what I mean? That's another guy I totally forgot about. Winky Wright, Vernon Forrest. You think those guys would destroy those dudes right now? You can't even compare them. I mean, I love weed to prevent the coronavirus. Hell yeah. That'd be good right now, some weed, you know? Because weed just mellows you out. Anyway. Yep. Rest in peace, Six Head Lewis. Didn't he die? Did he die? I think I'm not. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on a second, because I don't. Oh man, collided with a Premio car at Hope on the East Bank. He later. Oh man, sorry to hear that. Bud Crawford would beat all those fighters you mentioned, Kurt. Which ones? You think like De La Hoya and De La Hoya and what about Ike Corte? Ike Corte would destroy Danny Garcia. Keith Thurman. That would be some hell of a fights, though. I would love to see them. Don't forget munchy food. I know, right? I got some chips and dip with the queso. You know, I would be a test dummy for that new drug on the market. Donate my liver. Fuck that, Adam. No, sir. Why is Eddie Hearn so disliked? He makes good fights and he seemed likable. It is just the jealousy from the old and crusty promoters that don't like seeing a young man coming for their throne. Look, Timothy, it's like this. Being a promoter is like being a president. You don't want to be a young one. They shun on that. They think you don't have enough experience. Remember when Clinton got into office? They hated Clinton. You know, Bill Clinton, I mean, he fucked it up for himself, fucking around with Monica and all, but, they hated him before that, because he was young. So a lot of time you get discriminated against because you're young, and a lot of people don't like Eddie Hearn because he's white. Then he's British. So, with the kind of swagger he has, people don't like that. I don't think it rolls over well. You know what I mean? Especially when you got guys like Deontay Wilder spreading the narrative that he's like a slave master. Then his dad, Barry, didn't make it no better. We were the slave masters of the day, of yesteryear. I'm like, what the fuck did you say that for? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I have some Sour Patch Kids salt and vinegar chips I have left over. Uh, Poutine. I'm Canadian. I don't mess around. I heard that. Now you know they ain't fighting. They ain't finna fight Bud. No, those guys are not gonna fight Bud. They know. Orange juice, Adam. Your mouth has a party. Yesteryear boxers more complete. Well, they were more they were more controlled by promoters too. To be fair, that's what Barry Hearn was really talking about. Okay. Considering Wilder lost, would you still like to see Wilder versus Joshua? If so, who do you think win? Brandon, I don't know. Because I think what'll happen is a lot of people, like what people do, they start shitting on the person that lost. So a lot of people will think Wilder is an underdog. You see what I'm saying? Just like they thought Joshua would be an underdog against Wilder when he got beat from Ruiz. You know? So I think that would make him more dangerous, especially when you take your eyes of interest or importance off of Wilder. Wilder's dangerous, man. People don't understand. Yeah, Wilder. I mean, Fury. He took the punch, but understand, Fury knew how to lean back from that punch too. You know, he's a broken man now. I see all fights losing. We have to see if he's another Michael Grant. We'll see. Vamos a ver. Well, all my American comrades, make yourself a poutine. Fry it up, some fries, grate of bunch of mozzarella and cheddar cheese. Get yourself a good gravy. Perfect mix. Okay. Damn, I'm getting hungry. And over here in the UK, people are panicking buying milk in bulks. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it is stupid. That's stupid. Fucking milk. You know what I mean? I don't even drink milk. I drink almond milk. You know what I mean? But it's crazy. Well, you can freeze milk. That is right. But damn, these new heavyweights finna give a lot of veterans problems. Yeah, if they fight them. What do you think about Wilder taking body punches? Um, I think a lot of those knockdowns, though, he was getting beat up, but then in the grand scheme of things, I think Wilder also, was off balance because he didn't have legs. His legs were weak, you know. How's the toilet paper situation in the U.S.? Terrible. God of War, terrible. You can't find that shit anywhere. People just bought it all. Dumbasses. Just bought, like, I guess you're going to be inside. You got to take a shit. God forbid you run out of toilet paper. You know, but the virus won't stop billionaire companies making their products. I don't get the massive buying of toilet paper and pasta. I don't either. Buy burritos in bulk. Your stomach will hate you, but you won't starve. Hell yeah. That's right. That's what the toilet paper's for, Jim. You're going to shit a bunch in with burritos. At least 35 of Wilder's opponents were not in the top 20. Yep. At least 35. Yeah, that's true. Buy meat and soup broth. Yep. I got a lot of soup. I got a lot of soup. Wilder was pacing too much in the locker room. Here's a nice trick. Those long kitchen rolls can be cut in half to make 2 rolls of toilet paper. How many times a day does people use the toilet? I probably use it 2 or 3 times a day. Depends on what you're talking about. I'm talking about number one or number two. There are streamers on YouTube living on pre-cooked rice and Pop Tarts. Damn, they bought all the paper products and hand sanitizer to flip it on eBay. Nah, that's smart. I could see that shit jacking up the price. If I have socks, I have shit paper. I heard that. Wipe your ass, rinse it out, redo. Like using a diaper. No toilet paper. Encourages social distancing. Been a supporter since you used to film in front of the brick wall. Hell yeah, the industry ENT. Counterpunch to you. I remember that. I used to be outside because I used to run, like run about a mile, then come back and then film outside because I had better reception there. That's not fair because a lot of Wilder's opponents were cruiserweight. 3 seashells. You know what I'm talking about. Ah. Fluid transfer. Oh God. I thought about that damn movie the other week, like a couple weeks ago. He doesn't know how to use the seashells. Oh, I heard somewhere Wilder has the virus allegedly. Get the fuck out of here, unanimous opinions. Stop that. The wildlife is getting to take over the world again. It ain't all bad. I've used 11 rolls of toilet paper since December 18th. In all fairness, those scalpers should be denutted. Best video game ever. I don't know, man. It depends on what genre. A Resident Evil fan. Um, I'm a fighter, so I like Tekken. I just actually bought Tekken 7, which they changed the controls on it, and then you gotta pay to play online, which is some bullshit. I might pay because I want to fight. I want to see how good people are around the world. Who do you see winning between Ryan and Gervonta Tank Davis? I don't know. I think Tank Davis has the power to knock him out. Something about Ryan Garcia tells me that he's probably chinny. He's quick, fast, but another Amir Khan for some reason. You should check in on the film called Flu. It's the 2013 film with a lot of parallels of what's happening us now. It's scary. I'll check it out. Doom Eternal seems badass. I was gonna buy that the other day, Jim. Really, I was gonna buy that shit. San Andreas. Watch Kings of New York today. Oh, that's a good one. Classic. Lawrence Fishburne, Christopher Walken, Wesley Snipes. Never heard of it. When will you get another boxing game? I don't know, man. You know, I actually have my PlayStation 3 at my other house. I might need to get it. No, it's PS. I'm a PS PlayStation guy, man. Can't get into Xbox. And Xbox has some good graphics. I just don't like the control configuration. Best game I ever played was the Nintendo game called Bad Dudes. Hell yeah, Antonio Matthews. I used to play that shit at the arcade. You just, you just pick up the size. You know, you have a size, you know, you changing levels. Did you like Silent Hill similar to Resident Evil? You know what? I don't, I think I started playing Silent Hill and then just couldn't get into it because I don't think I ever bought it. I heard Eddie Hearn is pushing EA to make a new boxing game. He said in an interview not too long ago. Man, I hope he does. Let's get those likes up. Everybody, like check for me. Everybody hit the like button that's on the chat. I've just realized it's already 9 minutes to 4 a.m. over here in London. Gotta go to sleep. Feels like it has nothing, has no meaning at all at the minute as I'll be getting up to do nothing. Timothy, counterpunch to you. I know what you mean. Because it's like, what the fuck are you going to do this week? You're going to sit around. That's all you're going to do. You got to make, you have to really make a plan for yourself or you will lose your mind. You're either going to make a baby, become an alcoholic, drug addict, fat, fat as fuck, um, or ripped as fuck. You know, you could just be that, you know, that guy. Ninja Gaiden, yeah, that was one of the hardest games, bro. Ninja Gaiden on Nintendo, that shit was so hard to the point I got to the last guy because you know how that shit works, right? You have to fight. You have to be. You know, I didn't have a game genie, so you have to play it all the way through with what 2 or 3 guys. Man, fuck that. Mega Man 2 was hard as shit too. To be fair, I don't even did I beat Mega Man 2? I don't think so. I think I got as far as like maybe the seventh level or something. You know, not no getting fat or drugs. Good, Donald. Please don't. I would have headaches playing that game. Yeah, I had headaches playing it too because you had to fight your father, and I beat my father. I beat the dude's dad, and then after that, you then that fucking alien thing. You had to fight it, and then you know fucking crazy, and you could only you had a one angle of attack. Isn't Showbiz and his friends working on a boxing game, Hard Knocks Live or something? You know, I heard about that, and I hope that's in play too. I'll play both of them, you know, but his looks more like that Ready to Rumble game. You know, I'm so used to Knockout Kings and Fight Night, and you know what I mean? Those games were off the chain. You know what I wish they would have done and made another game called HBO Boxing? You ever seen that? It had Roy Jones Jr. and George Foreman. Now, it's kind of hard to play with, but it had some good shit on it. Like you could get a splattered nose, and then they had to stop a fight. You know what I mean? Things that actually happen in boxing. You know, Shinobi was good. Yeah, I think the Shinobi remake was very good. Gamer or movie critic? Both, both. Pilot wings. Matter of fact, take something out. Take something out. Rocky on Sega. Hell yeah, with the bow and arrow. Yeah, that was awesome. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have some Adele's. These are very good. I don't know if you guys had this, but this is some good shit. Adele's. And I'm gonna take some of these to the face. I'm gonna pan cook them in olive oil. Cook them down with some garlic, onion. It's time to eat, man. Cook them all at one time. Let's do this. All right. You mean Rambo, Kurt? Bow and arrow versus the helicopter. Yeah. Counterpunch cooking. Hell yeah. I'm hooking it up, man. I'm gonna get some onion, chop it up. Now it's a chance to watch the champ. If you cry, record it. Did you ever play Alien Isolation? Made it look like the old movies. No, I never played that. Timothy, I live in Estonia and it's 6 a.m. here. Still haven't fell asleep. Damn, Andreas Martin. That's crazy, man. But I went to sleep at 5 a.m., so I can't talk. I have a shorter night tonight than then. Harlem Nights. Yep, Harlem Nights is a classic. Is this turning into a cooking show? Kurt pulling out the all stops. No, I'm just fucking hungry. I ate earlier, and I ate this sandwich. I had turkey bacon, avocado, Swiss cheese, regular sliced turkey, tomatoes, um, and egg. It was delicious, off the chain. All 80 films with Eddie Murphy were great. You ever heard of Lunchbox? I haven't. I love Harlem Nights too. Harlem Nights is this guy. You remember the boxer in Harlem Nights? Ready, ready, right? I actually doubled him on a movie called Jeepers Creepers 3, right? And he wasn't the coolest dude. You know what I mean? He was actually kind of shitty. You know, he wasn't the worst, but he was far from being like one of the coolest people. You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah. Let's hit that like button, guys. Let's hit that like button. Any punching bags? Everlast has some good ones. And it's really where you position your bag at. Don't put your bag in a corner. Put it either hang it on a if you got a tree in the backyard with if it's strong enough, that's the best way to go. But don't hang it in the corner because you want to be able to maneuver around the bag. You know what I mean? It's better for your footwork. It's good to work on it. Yeah, Jeepers Creepers 3. Yeah. The movie sucked though. Yeah, the first one, 1 and 2 were good. 3 was shitty. You know, coolest actor I ever met, Michael B. Jordan. Worked with him in Black Panther. He was probably the coolest one. But there's a lot of cool actors though. David Allen Greer, he was on Queen Sugar, and I doubled him on that episode he was on. But yeah, 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 David Allen Greer is fucking man. He is hilarious. And actually, if you check my Facebook page, Kurt DeVille, it'll have me when they were slicking me, they're cutting all my hair off, and he was in the background and shit, saying, "Oh, it ain't gonna grow back. It ain't gonna grow back." So had to turn it, had to switch it, peoples. A lot of weird actors though. They are better than the common man. I don't know. A lot of them are weirder too. You got a lot of weird ass people. Like for real. A lot of times it's good to be around regular people. Whatever the hell that means, but it is what it is. Now it's time to pull out the onions, people. Thought I was bullshitting, didn't you? Minced garlic. There we go. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I'm cooking it up, man. I got some andouille sausage that I'm pan searing in olive oil and garlic. Kind of shit you kill a vampire with, you know what I mean? Going down. Counterpunch cooking in this piece. Kurt, did you ever like the Blade movies? Yeah, I like Blade, man. With Wesley Snipes, he is official Blade. You know they're doing a remake, and I think Idris Elba is actually one of the guys that I think he's one of the guys that they're selecting to be the new Blade. Which honestly, I hope they don't because I don't think you can get any better than how Wesley did it. You know what I mean? I know you probably got more. You know, you got more technology now, but that it was good the way it is. You know, I believe if it's not broke, don't fix it. And there was nothing broken about the Blade movies. That's right. Wesley is Blade. Fuck anybody else that tried. Fuck Sticky Fingers. Because I heard that, and I never saw the show, but I heard it was garbage. Therefore, I had no desire to watch it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Oh, that would be sick. Idris is the fucking cool dude. Met him at the Bedford Awards last year. Yeah, I mean, you know, Idris Elba's a cool dude, but I'm not convinced on his martial arts ability because Wesley brought that character to life. He made that character, you know, skilled, you know. So now you see Idris Elba and he plays Blade. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to really, because you got something to compare it to. You know what I mean? You actually like the TV show, huh? Blade, ready to die. I was born ready, motherfucker. Yeah, man, that was cool. Yeah, put a little Mrs. Dash on here, and then we're good to go. Yeah, a little black pepper. No, they already picked. They already picked an American guy to be Blade. To be fair, they just picked a dude who looks like a young Snipes. Damn, who the hell is that? What's my boy name? Omar Epps. I'm sure he could learn. There's not many people who would put in to replace Snipes, if any. Love Elva, but he don't have the look. I found Idris playing the bad guy in Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah, yeah. I haven't saw that yet. Wesley saved Marvel with those movies. He really did. He brought Marvel back. Remember Howard the Duck? That was a Marvel movie. A lot of people would forget about those shitty movies. Remember they had Punisher back in the day with I actually like that though with Dolph Lundgren. You know when he taught, you know when he took on the Japanese yakuza or yakuza. Shit was all violent. Kind of like that goof who took over the Rock in the Scorpion King. Punisher was dope, I thought. Yeah, I like Punisher. The one with Dolph Lundgren. You know, him and Louis Gossett Jr. Remember him? Carrots. Eat some carrots with it. Something healthy. Nice. Howard the Duck sounds like Deontay. Wow. Oh, Counterpunch, Rich James. The Crow hands down. Hell yeah, it can't rain all the time. um, I like, you know what? My favorite Brandon Lee movie is Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire was off the chain, bro. That was like the Enter the Dragon to me. You know, because it showed more, many dynamics of him. Damn, I might watch that tonight. Rapid Fire. Need a young guy for Blade. I guess, man. I don't know. I would rather see Blade now and another older Wesley now that he's older. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's just me. But anyway, guys, it's been fun. I'm going to continue cooking. Everybody on the chat, we will meet up later as time permits. Thank you guys for coming on. And everybody has been counterpunched. Peace.